I debated a homeless person.
And my life experience shows that most of them did not get to go to UCLA like I did.
The data, bro. Do you feel like you could be? Do you feel like you could be exceptional? It's a yes or no question.
And I'm not answering your question.
In case you don't know, I was just featured in a recent episode of Jubilee where they invited me, a millionaire, to debate with a homeless person to figure out a common ground, a middle ground, where we could understand each other's perspectives. But it didn't really go that way.
Did you ejaculate inside your girlfriend?
My daughter. Bro, don't speak to my daughter, bro. I'm very highly offensive, and I want to let you know that.
Again, some homeless people just were stuck in the victim mentality. Some millionaires were just so far out of touch.
They should be cleared because it's not aesthetically pleasing. I don't think there should be homeless people in front of it. It's so embarrassing because I have a lot of people who come to LA.
So what I've done is I've gone ahead and decided to have my team do a reaction video to this episode. I'm gonna have them watch it, give their thoughts, and we're gonna get a reaction for this Millionaire Debates Homeless People video by Jubilee. Hopefully you guys enjoy. You're not gonna believe the stuff you see in this.
When we have tourists coming in, it's so embarrassing because I have a lot of people who come to LA and they're like, oh, let's go see the Hollywood Boulevard, and you see people pooping on the streets, tents, and they're like, this is a third world country.
Being poor is a choice. Step forward if you agree with the prompt.
All of the millionaires walked up.
A lot of times the reason someone's poor is because of they lose here before they lose anywhere else. Because we all have the same amount of time in a day. I know it sounds cliche, but it's how you're using that time. So 100%, if you're spending your day and you're not choosing to be productive in any way, it could even be as simple as getting a job or working, saving some money. I think that's how you stay poor. So especially in the 21st century, when there's thousands of ways to get out.
Tech.
Yeah.
Trauma being addressed is the biggest contributor to the unhoused crisis that you guys have.
I kind of disagree with that because I know you said trauma causes it, but I think trauma is also subjective, right? Like there's like the parable about the two brothers where their dad was an alcoholic and then one grows up to be an alcoholic and he blames his dad. Now there's the other brother who he grew up, became successful, didn't touch alcohol. They ask him why, and it's the same reason. The same trauma.
That's true.
But
I feel like it's like a mindset thing.
Trauma
100%.
or things out of our control may contribute, but I still don't think it changes the fact that being poor is a choice.
So real quick, that part, I disagreed. It was funny because he was the other millionaire. I think that's a big cop-out. I have like a famous quote that I said, your circumstances don't define you, you define your circumstances. And that relates to trauma because I feel like if you say that, oh, you're allowed to be broke because of trauma, it allows people to have a cop-out. They don't take accountability for their actions. In their head, anything could be trauma. They could be like, oh, I'm broke because my dad left when I was little, or I'm broke because I got into an accident when I was a teenager, or my girl left me and broke my heart forever. Like trauma is subjective in the sense that obviously there's things that are more traumatic than others, a parent dying or something, or going through a health crisis. But at the same time, when you say that it's an excuse or you let people use that as an excuse, they stop taking accountability for it. So in that, I shared like the story about how it depends on how people address their trauma or how they use their trauma as fuel.
That's
Definitely an excuse, honestly.
Yeah,
Bill.
because you'll see people that
Definitely an excuse.
that will blame, like just like Rene said, like they'll blame their background for a reason why they're poor, and somewhere there's like someone that has a totally different outcome that actually made it, had the exact same background, and it was like what separated the two. It was like just the choice that they made.
I first want to say that seeing people come up here and say that poverty is a choice is very highly offensive, and I want to let you know that all four of y'all being millionaires, I find that deeply insulting for you to say that it was a choice for me to be poor.
It's crazy, bro. Everything insulted him, bro. You could be like, yo, the sky is cloudy today. It's like, to me, it's deeply insulting. Like, bruh, yo, beautiful weather, huh? To me, that was deeply insulting. Like, it's crazy, bro. He got offended by everything. And like, you'll see right now, I'm about to empower him. Like my whole goal with this is like potentially help people out. Cause I think the reason a lot of people are in the situation is because they don't know any better. They didn't have like the information fed to them. So I try to empower him. I try to be like, yo, you can do it. You could be great. And he was so like brainwashed. He was stuck in his ways, bro. He literally didn't want to change. He wouldn't accept it. I was like, you could be great. He's like, no, I can't. No, I can't. I'm like, what the hell? Watch.
That I can't access. I've been arrested for walking through Los Feliz just for the color of my skin. Is that a victim mentality or am I being victimized? There's a big difference there. So I want to say that all of you should check your privilege at the door I never chose to be poor. No one from my background has ever chosen to be poor. Neither do any demographic that is living in poverty in this nation. Yeah.
We don't have
We don't have the
any
same opportunities as you. We don't have the same opportunities.
So we're
as
changing
you.
the wording, which is fine. And I can't even possibly disagree. I'm not in your shoes. I'm walked in your shoes.
I'll say this. I grew up poor. My mom immigrated from another country. I'm brown. I'm almost as dark as you. You know, I understand where you're coming from, because I do agree that it is harder as a black man to have opportunities, but at the same time, explain all of the black millionaires I know that are close friends of mine.
Bro, so literally, I even said, I understand it's harder for you as a black man. And like, but then I also said there's black millionaires that exist. And I'm trying to like help him understand that it doesn't matter what your circumstances are, because people are born with limiting beliefs, right? Like in his head, he's a victim and he'll never get out. So I'm trying to break that. I'm trying to explain like, yo, there are black millionaires. There's throughout history, there's a lot of black millionaires. There's more black millionaires today than any time in history. So it's still possible. I'm trying to like move him, but the way he responds is crazy. I think the one thing I got cooked for, I was reading the comments too. I think I fucked up because I said, oh, I'm brown. I'm almost as dark as you. And I'm reading the comments. I'm getting cooked in the comments for that. So let me take that one back. But everything else, I stand by. Valid.
That feel the exact same way. And I wish one of them were here, because then he could speak to you. It's harder coming from, I guess, white people. I'm the brownest one, so I feel like I have to speak on their behalf. But we came here, I had a single mom. Dad left when I was like 2 years old. So I understand how it feels to have nothing, but also at the same time, you don't feel like you have any opportunity?
Because you bring up exceptionalism and you try to use yourself and really insulted me by talking about the color of my skin.
Or he's a
dark as
victim.
me, because you try to bring up there's other black millionaires. What you're doing right now is you're trying to talk about anomalies for my community. There's a racial wealth gap that you can't address. You're not an African American, and you bringing up a couple millionaires here and there doesn't change the fact that the majority of all the wealth in this nation is in the hands of white people. African Americans here have not gotten any reparations. Wealth has not been passed down for generations. We had to deal with redlining. We had to deal with Jim Crow. We had to deal, we still to this day. I was the first one in my family to be born with civil rights. My dad was born before.
There's more black millionaires today than ever before, by the way. Just throwing it out there. Again, the issue with this is kind of like, I've never seen someone so angry at someone trying to empower them. You know, imagine like you have someone you're encouraging, you're like, yo, I believe you could do it. I think you could be great. I think you could be the best. And they're like, no, I can't. I just can't do it. It's like, imagine if someone's on a basketball team, you're like, yo, you could be like one of the best players in the NBA. Nope, I'm just too short. Impossible. Could never do it. My dad wasn't tall enough. I'm never gonna go NBA. I'm Asian. There's not any Asian NBA players. Not too many of them. There's only been like a couple of them. I'm never gonna go. It's like, it's the craziest belief system to me. How are you like blocking your own blessings that bad when someone's trying to empower you, bro?
Before the passage of the Civil Rights Act, I don't have civil rights. I've been wrongfully convicted, wrongfully arrested. I started getting arrested at 11 years old. I'm not brown, I'm a black man in America. And I don't relate to your experience or what you're bringing up. Because in my communities that I've lived in the poverty I've lived at the Union Rescue Mission in Skid Row, I've lived in South LA, in the ghettos, where I've lived at, there are no millionaires. The only millionaires are the real estate owners, the slumlords, who are exploiting us. Show us where in our community are these opportunities. Where's the investment?
I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree that it's going to be harder. I'm not saying it's not going to be as easy as it would be for anyone else. I'm not saying that. But you just said that I chose anomalies, people that are exceptional. Exceptionalism. Do you believe you can be exceptional?
I'm not here to represent myself
yes or
and
no
my
question,
exceptionalism. I'm here to represent the unhoused.
I understand, but
And when I go to
I'm
Skid
asking-
Row, the data shows and my life experience shows that most of them did not get to go to
Wait,
UCLA like
can I
I
just
did.
ask-
The data, bro. Do
No,
you feel
it's
you
not-
can
it's not
be?
at the data.
Do you
No.
feel like you can be exceptional? It's just yes or no question.
And I'm not answering your question.
What's
I
laughing?
represent the unhoused.
Wait,
I'm not here to be an anomaly. I'm here to represent the people.
You can't even answer a yes or no question, bro. Like this dude, there's no point in even talking to this guy.
He's more concerned about like the negative.
He's saying he's homeless. He has dunks on, bro, like brand new dunks. Like what is he talking about?
So do you guys think it's a choice for us to be poor?
Well, it depends. Like, do you guys have a mental disability or a physical disability? Like, I feel like
Yes.
think-
I'm
So-
no hard feelings. I'm
Yeah,
just
I think
curious.
with the exception, maybe I'm not well versed on that, so I don't want to speak on your position specifically, but for everyone else, I would say yes. And
So
I mean as
working full-time-
respectfully as possible. Yeah,
So working full time, going to school, being a single parent with sole custody and placement of my daughter, doing everything right that I'm supposed to do. I'm choosing to be poor by working full time, by going to school, by
bro,
taking care of my child.
That's a
The
beautiful
thing is,
thing.
you having a
'Cause I'm
daughter,
poor.
you having a
That's a beautiful
daughter,
thing.
choice. That was your choice, was it not?
I didn't ask you about.
Did you ejaculate inside your
speak on my daughter,
girlfriend?
bro. Don't speak on my daughter. I asked-
You having a daughter,
Bro,
Did you ejaculate and did you ejaculate inside of your girlfriend? Is a crazy.
Bro, that guy's not helping.
I didn't ask you about.
Did you ejaculate inside your girlfriend?
Don't speak on my daughter.
Hey, yo! Why you say it like that? That's crazy. He said, did you ejaculate inside your girlfriend? It's crazy, bro. He couldn't do like, did you choose to have a kid? You had to like go, you had to act like, that's wild.
I asked
You having a daughter?
Bro, don't speak on my daughter, bro. I asked you
not-
what.
That's why I was defending the white man, bro, because listen, don't speak on my daughter, bro. I was scared for the white man's life. No, I wasn't.
I'm asking you a question.
I ask you a
Is
question.
having
Am I
a daughter a
choosing to be
choice?
poor? Yes or no? By working full time.
So you want me to answer a yes or no question, but you want to answer a yes or no question?
Is working full time choosing to be poor? Just
Is
answer the
having a
question.
child a choice?
Is working full time choosing to be poor? Why you can't answer the question?
Yes.
First of all,
Yes, here's why.
First
I have a daughter too, so
I
know where
love that
you're
you
coming
work
from.
full time.
I think right now you're trading your time for too little money. You gotta find the
He won't answer anybody else's question, but he demands a yes or no like answer.
Yeah, I agree with Rene on this one. Like he's busting his ass working a 9-to-5 job where he could like, it sounds like he's smart. Like if he just learned the skills, let's say,
Agreed.
you know, if he learns the skills, instead of working, he could like use that money to start a business and get out of like his situation.
The crazy thing is the guy is actually very, very educated on the topic. He just has the very wrong principles on. He has like wrong principles and he has this like victim mentality. If he applied the right principles, with how educated he is, he can make a lot of money.
You gotta find the skill that'll allow you to trade your time for more money. Because you're working full time, you're grinding it out because you gotta make ends meet, right? Regardless, I know you seem like that type of person. I could hear the passion in your voice. You need to find a way to trade your time for more money, so that when you work full time, it gives you more leeway, more freedom, better life.
I agree.
So you see it says choosing to be poor.
For you, 100%.
Capitalism creates homelessness.
So I was saying that being poor is a choice because most people, and it's crazy that I said it before he even came up. I said, most people lose in here before they ever lose in real life. Like if I come out and I'm like, I'm poor, I'm destined to be poor. Obviously, I'm gonna end up being poor. It's like imagine going out to like play a game or trying to achieve something, and before the game even starts, you say, I'm gonna lose. You're gonna lose if that's what you believe. Like the only way people can win in any sort of life is if they give themselves a chance to win. He's not even giving himself a chance to win, you know? So when I say being poor is a choice, being born poor is not a choice, but dying poor, right? Being born poor is not your fault, but staying poor, it is your fault because of all of the access to resources we have today. Obviously, this guy has access to social media, the internet. I think I checked, he has like 30,000 followers on TikTok, but every single time he has an opportunity like that, right? Like, you know, all you feel making money on TikTok, he squanders it or he like blames the system for him not being able to work. Bro, you have 30,000 followers on TikTok. Do you know how many people monetize that following, make money off of it, build an audience, a real audience? With him, it doesn't seem like he's doing anything with it. And I think that's the issue. And the only reason it's because he says, oh, it's not possible. I can't do it. It's not possible. So like, he's a smart guy. You hear the way he talks. He's very well spoken. He says he graduated from UCLA, you know? Brother, you are the only thing holding yourself back. You should not be homeless. You are a credentialed, intelligent man, but your beliefs have literally left you like homeless or at the bottom, which is unfortunate because I hate seeing it. And you could tell like in there, I'm like passionate. Like we kind of got into it, but it's because I'm like, you should be doing way better. You know, I'm not that smart. I think there was a comment on the video like, this is proof that you don't need to be smart to be a millionaire. I agree. That's not even a diss to me. I agree, don't got to be smart to be a millionaire. But sometimes being smart and not believing yourself is worse. I'd rather be dumb, but at least believe in myself. You know, they have a quote that says, like the people who made it are the ones that were dumb enough to think that they could. That was me. This guy's been brainwashed by society, or I don't know where he got this information from, but he's been so brainwashed that even when I tell him he can be great, he says, no, nah, can't do it. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. And I think it's crazy too, like, cause even if that guy like is talking about like all these statistics and reasons why like he's poor, like all these reasons why he's poor, it's like, if you're looking for external reasons why you're in a certain situation, like you're going to find a fuckload of them. But just like Rene said, like if you're looking for reasons why you can actually make a change, like you'll find some too. So it's like, it's crazy that a lot of people just are kind of in that show or in a position where they're not well off financially and they like to find all these external reasons, and it kind of justifies why they feel like they're doing everything they can. Well, that's really not the case.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, you're always going to justify yourself if like you have a bad mentality. I mean, shit, like my parents were both immigrants. So
yeah, mine too. Yeah.
So there's no reason to not be successful at coming over here with nothing, literally nothing to their name, not knowing anybody, going to a whole new world pretty much.
Yeah. No, my dad's an immigrant from Haiti. It's like,
There you go, bro.
it's like if you want to make a change, you can make a change. Like it's
Yeah, so my perspective is whether you're looking at laissez-faire capitalism and you're looking at the industrialists and those who were, you know, ultra rich, that created a system where the majority of the people are living in poverty, and many of those people
Majority
do
of
not have
people,
homes. It's an exploitative system.
A majority of people don't live in poverty in capitalism. When you say poverty in America, it's like making less than $30,000 a year. Our poverty line is higher than like a lot of other countries, like third world countries. It's a lot higher than a lot of their like income in general. So poverty in America is very different from poverty in third world countries, just to be clear. But the fact that capitalism has made it so that like our brokest people are the richest people in other countries. It's crazy.
And those who have access to the capital usually pass down as wealth through generations, wealth transfers from grandfathers, fathers to grandchildren, children. And those of us who are locked out of that capital are the exploited labor pool. So being homeless, they subsidize our labor in Los Angeles. They'll even go to the point where you will get a subsidized job where the employer gets to use your labor for free. They don't have to pay you a penny.
Quick question. This guy has a degree from UCLA and he's working a subsidized job. Why don't you just get a better job? You have a degree from UCLA. Unless you got a degree in something useless. I don't know what it would be. I'm not going to make any assumptions, but that doesn't sound very, very smart to me.
I've worked many subsidized jobs. Capitalism is the system that does this. Socialism, systems where we all work together. Communism, systems
That's
where
crazy.
we all get an opportunity.
communism. Look at my
we're
reaction.
working together,
What the
egalitarian,
hell?
or those who have are actually helping it.
Brother said communism is the best system because we're all going to work together. While he's like wearing, look at all the stuff he's wearing too, by the way. You know, he gets all this stuff. I'm not sure if this is the case, but for the most part, he can get a lot of the stuff for free. If he goes to some of these places that like with the welfare programs, he can get a lot of the stuff for free. I know he has some shoes on too that are crazy. So it's like, bro has a watch on. He has an iPhone. This is the craziest thing to me. Bro has an iPhone and he's complaining about capitalism. That's wild, bro.
Take care of those who don't. They don't create homelessness. They actually make sure to prevent homelessness. So capitalism is an insidious system that keeps many of us locked out of wealth, that keeps many of us in homeless shelters and dying on the streets homeless.
Capitalism, I personally think, is an absolutely beautiful, amazing, incredible system, and it's not even close to perfect because it's a system. Socialism is a system. Communism is a system, and albeit a fucking horrible one. And human beings and human behavior and human nature is very rarely factored into these systems. That's what drives these systems.
Like he said, when we're out here.
So what the other dude was saying, the white dude, he was saying that like with socialism and communism, they work in an idea where everyone should do this and we'll be a happy society. But the issue is, think about it. If I'm not going to get rewarded for working harder or inventing stuff or creating jobs, no jobs are going to get created. Like the reason capitalism works is because human nature. If I know that I can make a lot of money and get a lot of reward from building a business, I'm going to do it, right? So communism is like everyone's going to work and everyone's going to get a fair share of everything. It sounds all great and dandy, but the issue is no one's going to work hard anymore. You know, if I don't got to work hard and I'm still going to get the same as everyone else, why would I work hard? That's just human nature. That's the human nature part of it. So that's what he was saying.
Out here in LA and we're homeless, we have nowhere to go. We can't even lay on a bus stop. Where are we supposed to go? It's a crime for us to even exist in a society. So where are we supposed to exist at? I'm not understanding. Where does the system want us to go? The Olympics are coming up.
I think the only thing you're not understanding is the prompt, which was about capitalism.
Right, that's capitalism.
I think if the prompt,
straight away from the prompt.
Pink puppy dogs, we'd end up at race,
right.
like within one step.
So race. You're not oppressed through the color of your skin. So you can take race out of capitalism. It's a part of capitalism. Who started capitalism? Who started the system?
You got an iPhone.
I'll say this.
I can tell you, it wasn't a black man in Africa.
The United States is not the only country that has capitalism.
Right. I said who started capitalism.
A mic dropped right here.
Was it a black man in Africa?
The end of the segment after I said this.
It went from feudalism to mercantilism to capitalism, and it was like a naturally evolving structure.
Did it naturally evolve in Africa?
It's a flawed system. No system is perfect. I agree. Like it may create some homelessness. It might make some people's lives harder, but I think it promotes being great. It promotes you to be good. America is the wealthiest country in the world because of capitalism. The most capitalistic country, wealthiest country in the world. In fact, capitalism has driven prices of food so low, more people die of obesity here than starvation, right? There are 1,600 new millionaires created every single day.
Homeless dudes
Me
agree with
personally,
me.
I employ 20 people. They take care of their families, they live good lives, right? So imagine, I'm not even that rich. Imagine a billionaire. They're hiring tens of thousands, 20 thousands of people. So the more businesses you have, the more people that are taking advantage of capitalism, it's not just taking care of them. Like, yeah, I'm paid well, but also there's people that work for me that also have good lives because of it. So I think capitalism creates growth and it creates prosperity across the board. And it's not
I got a
perfect,
job, I'm
but it's the
living.
best we got.
Homeless
been homeless right now,
encampments
bro.
can be dangerous and should be clear.
Nah, this is crazy. The white girl said some shit here. I don't agree with what she said here. I was like, look at my reactions. I was like,
The
whoop.
reason he was able to get clean is because he found somewhere to stay. He was on Skid Row, got off Skid Row, found somewhere to stay where he could shower, where he could get clean. And I think when you're there, you become a product of your environment. So like you said, if you're there and everyone's just high or they're drunk or they have a knife or they're dangerous or they're volatile, you're gonna absorb that. You're gonna like assimilate to that. So I think
I wanted to give like a well
I
thought
was
through
gonna say,
answer.
I grew up in Europe, so growing up, I was never worried about just going outside. I'm so used to going for like walks in like middle of the night and midnight. Coming to LA was a huge shock because I live in West Hollywood, which is a pretty okay area, but still like you cannot go outside past dark. And I was walking one time down the street and it's, again, in West Hollywood, nothing crazy, daylight. This guy comes out of this tent, pulls out a knife and starts like chasing me. You never know what to expect those people because you don't know what they're on.
I was with her until now.
That's why they're dangerous, and that's why I wish the city of LA would provide a better solution.
nodding, I'm
because
like
in other
agreeing.
countries it's not like that, and other cities it's not like that. In other states in America it's not like that. So I don't understand why LA is just so bad.
They're treated as criminal and we have to clear them away, and as a result they're not getting those things to put dirty needles in. So there's needles all over the floor. They're not getting porta potties, so there's shit on the floor. And then they're like, oh look, there's shit on needles on the floor. We have to clear them out. But it's like we're not getting the support we need. But people get high and they get confused, and and that's the truth. And they're not given the support or the resources. They're not saying like, hey, come here.
Or the veterans.
And I just think the question is like, are these encampments, like I was my worst off when I was all alone. When I was in an encampment, I felt like protected. I felt like I had friends. I felt like I had connection, and I was able to bring my drug use down a little bit.
It's crazy because
when
you could feel
the
his energy
encampment
too,
I
so
stayed
you
at
look at me,
closed, I was all alone,
could
and
feel
I
his
got
energy.
lost, and I got confused. And I know it's
you
my
could feel his
fault. I
energy.
know I decided to use drugs, but these drugs are really powerful, and people underestimate what they do to people's brains. That's all I'm trying to say. And I think we need to give help to these encampments. And the more we treat them as criminal and try to clear them away, the worse it's going to be for people.
Well, I agree that they're, again, well, I'm not a big fan of free handouts. I do believe that you should have basic needs, such as like, shelter, running water, maybe a restroom. But I think they should be cleared because it's not aesthetically pleasing to LA.
Where are you going to put them?
Aesthetically pleasing is
Tell me, let's see, you got 1,000.
I don't think they should be homeless people in the first place. I think we should build
Okay,
mental.
but there is.
Look at Renee's face. He's like,
I'll just finish really quick.
Nah, I'm like, I literally like, look at my reaction. I looked at the guy on the right of me, because I'm like, no fucking way she just said that. Because this dude literally poured his heart out. He said like, like we need him. Like it was like his safe space when he was on drugs, I guess. And she goes, we need to clear them out because they're not aesthetically pleasing. So I was like, so I look at his reaction. Under his breath, he goes, fucking bitch. Or he goes, stupid bitch. Under his breath, the guy in the red shirt. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I couldn't believe what I heard, bro.
I don't think they should be
I was like, we don't claim her. As millionaires, we don't claim her. This is crazy. Look.
homeless people in the first place. I think we should build
That's crazy, bro. I was like, nah, she did not just say that.
But there is.
Even the other dude's like, he's like, yo.
There
I was kinda
are
like,
a ton of homeless people. There's like, what, 775,000 people that experience
Even he's
homelessness
checking her
in
now.
the
He's
last
like,
year,
yo.
I think is the stat, right? let's say there's 1,000 in one encampment,
Mm-hmm.
and the cops come along and go, okay, let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
Where do they go?
Well, I think if they have a mental, because
Yeah.
Reagan closed down a lot of mental hospitals, so I think the United States ideally should build a lot of mental health institutions, and the people that do have mental health issues, they should go there and get all the professional help, because there is help out there.
Canada.
It's
But you know, a lot of times when we have tourists coming in, it's so embarrassing because I have a lot of people come to LA.
It's
Look
at my face.
Let's go see the Hollywood Boulevard, and you see people. And they're
Said
like,
it's
let's go see the Hollywood
embarrassing.
Boulevard, and you see
That's
people
crazy.
pooping on the streets, tents, and they're like, this is a third world country.
crazy, bro.
Tourists are gonna stop
People are
coming,
homeless, like, it's
and
so
that's
embarrassing
money.
that
That's
they're
money that
homeless.
LA
It's
is
wild.
losing. Business is gonna stop
Yeah, she
coming.
lost
a lot
me
of
there. I was
companies
kind
are
of like,
leaving LA.
Also, the big benefit of the encampments is that when I lived at
Really quick, that was the worst take I've ever. That's crazy.
I lived at the Poinsettia Park encampment, and resource trucks would come by and they would be able to pass out clean needles, and they were able to get a majority of that encampment into longer term housing because we were all consolidated together. If there are no encampments, we're all scattered everywhere and the help isn't as easily accessible.
Yeah, but nobody should be in a tent in the United States. Like, no, because if United States, if LA is too expensive, which rent is crazy expensive here, right? Go somewhere else.
Even the
like,
white is
on
like
your
hella
floor?
quiet.
What is it?
Can they sleep on your floor?
No, I'm saying go. No, I'm saying go to a different state that's more affordable, like West Virginia. I just bought a house in West Virginia. The house is like 25.
Can they go sleep at the house?
25,000. It's so cheap. Like LA is the second most expensive city in the United States. People that live here pay a lot of taxes, so they would want to have a nice environment. So if it's too expensive
Yeah, I was
to live
uncomfortable
here,
here. It was like weird.
Literally in any other states.
I felt
New
like I was
Mexico
like
is cheap, you know, like
grouped into the same.
The system is rigged to keep the rich rich.
I felt like, yeah, because we were sitting next to each other, she was like real close to me. I felt like I automatically got grouped into like, I'm like, nah, I don't agree with that. She's like, yeah, it's not aesthetically pleasing. It's just embarrassing. I'm like, yo. I said I was kind of like, you watch, like I'm a little uncomfortable there because I was like, I don't rock with that. I don't want that to be a reflection of me.
And the poor.
Yeah, so Donald Trump's big ugly bill just passed, and within his bill, they're estimated that millions of Americans are going to die because of lack of access to healthcare in the future. And for some reason, the billionaires get tax cuts, the millionaires get all these benefits, and those of us in poverty, we get the shaft. As always, different programs like AmeriCorps, Job Corps, all these programs are disappearing because now it's an attack on DEI. Now they don't want to see anyone who's getting these opportunities continue to get these opportunities. So yeah, the system is definitely rigged to continue to see us failing, to keep us as a permanent underclass, serving the needs and the wants of those in power, and those in power to continue getting richer while we continue to die on the wayside.
I think it boils down to the definition, because he was saying rigged, right? Rigged would imply that you can't win. Like, you know the shell game? They go on the streets, they go like this, they put a little nut under the thing, they move it. That's rigged, because you can't win no matter what, they're gonna take your money. As a black male, it might be harder to get rich. As a woman, it's harder to get rich, right? As a white man, it might be easier, but it doesn't mean that a black male or a woman can't get rich.
I have to present myself in a way that people want to hire me.
It's true.
It has nothing to do, like, for me, I didn't know you were African American. I don't care. I thought you were Indian, honestly, and I don't care if you're
That's
Indian, I don't care if
crazy.
you're black, I don't care if you're Mexican. To me, it's like,
Bruh. She did not think he was Indian. There's no way.
I think you just gotta.
Once again, I think you're speaking from a position of privilege. So the statistics show that
Victim
an
count.
African
Victim
American
counter.
male with a college degree, with no
Bro's a
felony
statistic.
record whatsoever,
The statistics
has
show.
the same chance of getting a
Bro's a
callback,
sta- bro-
the same
bro
chance
agrees.
of
He
getting
wants
an
to be a
interview
statistic.
from a
Brother,
white
why
man
would you
who
wanna be a
has
statistic?
a
Hold up.
felony record.
It's like,
What-
you know, you can
what are we
defy, you know, they say
talking about
defy
here?
the odds.
We're
be great.
not going off
Why
of
would you want to be a
people are
statistic,
just
bro?
treating us the same based on our energy and our vibe and
just
what I'm
wish-
giving off of.
I just wish
People are treating us different based upon our race,
No,
whether
but
you
I
like
just
it or
wish you
not.
took the race out of this whole segment.
Well, then,
please.
then we're talking about a system that's rigged. This system is rigged in your favor, not in my
Why
favor.
is it?
That's
I'm
a
a
fact.
I like
female.
the word rigged.
Statistically, you should be my
Rigged
boss.
is like,
if you were born,
rigged, I kind of like, has that idea of that no matter what you do, you're bound to fail.
Yeah.
I do believe people do have a better opportunity than others, but I think with the right time and effort, anyone can make it.
If you were born in this country, you have such a big advantage over me.
Who benefited the most from DEI programs?
What DEI
White women.
programs?
DEI programs in America, the majority of all DEI programs in America, who benefited from those programs? Which minority got to get those benefits? White women. You don't know the history of the country that you're living in?
No.
Cook their ass.
Okay.
Can we be
Get her.
honest and have a real discussion? Or we
Get
just
her
gonna have
ass.
a privileged discussion where it's just
Victim
vibes,
off.
girl, and when I go
No.
out there,
Yes.
everything is
Look,
cool.
look,
If
look.
he could just vibe better with us, he would have a good time
Yes,
too.
because look, when it
He
comes
got
to
his bag,
hiring
look, I'm
at the end of the
smiling
day,
now.
for me, I don't care if the person
He was bucking her up. She needed help. That's why I was like, I'm gonna stay out of this. Laughing. It's not looking good for her. She chose the wrong one.
white, I don't care if it's black, Asian, I really
The cops don't care either.
Wealthy people have a duty to fix homelessness.
You already in space. He said, I'm about to cook.
I like this. I think the more money you make, the more responsibility you bear. Right?
I agree
the more
with him.
responsibility you have, the more you want to help other people, bring them up, educate them, help monetarily. Whether you fix it through money or whether you fix it through education, whether you fix it through reform, there's a lot of things you can do once you start making money because you can start making impact. Especially hearing your guys' stories, it makes me feel bad because I feel like I could do more. I can't, obviously. But I think the wealthier you get, the more responsibility you have for that stuff.
I think every person has a duty to help their fellow human being. And homelessness is an initiative that it's been near and dear to my heart for a long time. It's not just lip service. I mean, I've helped people fundraise through my company and built 150 homes for people that didn't have homes in Mexico. And I've been involved in charitable stuff for the last 25 years. It's one of the most gratifying things that I do. I think it's actually more of a selfish thing to do, to be honest with you, because it's like it feels amazing doing it. I feel like I'm actually fulfilling my calling. And I think anybody has a duty to help their fellow human. It's just part of being a decent person.
I feel really glad hearing y'all's perspectives on like individually feeling kind of like compassion to put yourself in others' shoes. And a lot of the times just everyday life is just so stressful when you're, poor. It's like you can't think about the greater good for society. It's every day, it's just survival. I stepped forward because I was thinking kind of like in terms of taxing the rich a little bit. Taxes, go to public services like libraries and roads, and I feel like those things are important more on a systemic level. And then you guys made a good point about like how you individually feel. That's not even something I had thought about with the prompt. So I was glad hearing like y'all's takes on that.
Me too. It was, and I think just this discussion is part of helping, you know what I mean? I do think the rich have a duty to help the unhoused, and there's just this one thing, I always thought it was weird.
I feel like there's a beautiful discussion here if the victim dude doesn't talk the entire time. Like there would have been a beautiful discussion here where you get like thoughts and feelings across in like a very compassionate way. And this video, the tone of this video would have been way different if the victim dude wasn't there. But I think because he made it so like combative, like every chance he got, he'd be like, man, it's because I'm black, bro. I'm a victim. I'm oppressed in this country. People like you will never understand. Like because he made it every single chance that like he got, he made it that. It made the whole thing like a fight. But I feel like it should have been, this is like a beautiful part of this segment. It should have been like this where they're expressing, they're not blaming anyone. They're not blaming the system. They're just expressing how they feel. Because then you can explain, because we said how we feel. They say how they feel. And there's no pointing fingers. They're not blaming us. We're not blaming them. It's literally like a beautiful message and like conversation. But then the dude jumps in
I'm
and
not
starts
saying
blaming.
that when I was unhoused, people needed to give me money, but I would panhandle a lot, you know what I mean? And whenever I was in like really wealthy areas like Calabasas, I wouldn't get any money from anybody. But if I went to like a lower income neighborhood, like if I went to East LA, I'd get a lot of money. And it just made me like wonder like why the upper class is more hesitant to directly help the unhoused. And I'm thinking maybe because they don't want us like staying in their neighborhoods and stuff.
I think it's because they can't relate.
Yeah.
Because the reason this is I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I thought about this beforehand. I actually got everyone freaking little things so you guys get a stay at a hotel for however
dude
long.
in the back.
So all of you guys got one.
Rene
It's
is a G
250
for
bucks
this,
on
though.
this
Whoa.
for any hotel you want.
Thank you.
He's
Make sure
getting
you
in the
guys
back.
I love this prompt, so I don't know if I'm allowed to do
gotta
this. If I'm breaking the rules, it's for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. But I think part of that is because people can't relate. Because I remember there was at some point my dad, there was an ugly little like divorce.
wealthy people have a duty to fix homelessness. I don't think it's their duty. Like, it's not your job to fix homelessness, but I feel like if you're a good person, you would do it out of the kindness of your heart. So like Rene, he didn't have to do that. He just did that because he wanted to be, because he is a good person. But it's not.
And he knows how it was too. Like growing up, we were broke, so he knows the struggle.
Agreed. So he can relate.
Yeah.
All right, so this is actually the true story behind this. I didn't know where I was gonna get myself into. I just didn't know it was homeless people. So I wanted to make sure they had a place to stay. I'm not gonna just talk to homeless people and be like, all right, later, y'all, I'm going back to my expensive ass penthouse. Enjoy the streets. So I wanted to kind of like come in there and give them something. My plan was to give it to them after, not during this. But the prompt was so perfect. It like fit so perfectly. I was like, man, I can't miss the opportunity to like aura farm right now. Like I can't miss the opportunity to clip farm right now. Because it was so perfect. Like the prompt fits so perfectly because it's true. Like I genuinely wanted to help them. Because I feel like I've been blessed enough to do it. I think karma is real. I think God is real. So God's put me in a really good position. And I wanted to help them out. But it's crazy that was the prompt. So I was like, cool. We didn't get these prompts beforehand. So I didn't know that. But that's why I was like, I don't know. I didn't even know if they were going to put this in here. I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this. I'm going to do it. If you guys want to cut it out, you can cut it out. But Jubilee wanted to clip farm too. They wanted a viral moment. So they put it in there.
So all of you guys got one. It's 250
But I got
bucks on
emotional
this.
during this too.
For
Because I
any
started
hotel
talking
you
about my
want.
life. And like, at some point I was almost
Make sure you guys are
homeless.
good. I love this prompt. So I don't know if I'm allowed to do
God.
this. If I'm breaking the rules, it's for you.
And that was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Because like they were
But
actually
I think
like,
part of that is because people can't.
God.
Because I remember there was at some point my dad, there was an ugly little like divorce battle where he tried to sell the house and me and my mom were almost homeless. So it's like when I hear this stuff, it makes me sad. It sucks and I feel like really grateful to have money now. So I wanted to make sure that you guys.
I really appreciate that.
I can't do like it's not much, but also just on the top I have goosebumps. It's crazy.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
I got you. Yeah, you guys, everybody deserves it.
And I would say, since you have that heart and that mind to do that, I would say get involved with organizations that are in Skid Row, that are right now fighting this battle. We don't have people to make sure that Gavin Newsom can hear our stories. We don't have people to make sure that Karen Bass can hear our stories. Being millionaires, I'll be honest, y'all can get to these leaders quicker and better than we can. I've been down to City Hall and tried to talk to them. They quick to throw us out of there. Let you guys go down there, petition, talk to them, ask them. They'll probably listen to y'all way faster than they'll listen to us. That's just my perspective on it.
If you give people free housing, they won't be motivated to change their life.
What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is, kind of reiterating on what the guy said about how when he went to like low income places and they gave him more money and rich people didn't want to give him more money. I feel like there's two reasons why that. I feel like the millionaires do it in their own terms, like where they like donate a lot of money into charities already. And the other reason why they don't do it is because I guess they've been down that road themselves, right? A lot of millionaires have like this crazy success story where they've been homeless, they've been broke, they lost their house, they lost everything, and then they build it back up. So I feel like those are the main reasons why they don't just give you like, hey, here's $50, even though they can just go in their wallet and say, here, like here's $100.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they should do it, like out of being like a good person, like helping out homeless people. I wouldn't say obligated to do it, cause like have you ever like met like a homeless person and you just didn't have cash on you? They start like acting like salty or like, man, as if like you owe that to them. Bro, ever had that happen?
Yes, bro. I've before working with Rene, right? I used to work at like Texas Roadhouse and we used to employ a lot of homeless people, bro.
Yeah, that's why.
Like legit, like just go out there and be like, oh, you want a job?
Yeah.
And they'll actually come. But we started noticing was that like after a month they get like their check and they just disappear, bro.
If you give people free housing, they won't be motivated to change their lives.
it's a weird one after like I just gave them free housing.
Well, I am literally looking at people who are going through these housing processes every day. I'm going through it myself, but I do believe it should be a temporary thing. It should always be a temporary thing because your parents should raise you, and if they don't raise you, you're not someone else's problem. And nothing should be free. And if there's this big utopia of free stuff, then it probably isn't in America.
Yeah, so when I say this, I'm just speaking for other countries, right? You look at like, I've traveled the world, you go to other countries, specifically like in Europe, a lot of them, they do this free housing thing. Really? And the people that are in this free housing, they don't work. There's just like a minimum thing where they're just there in this free housing, chilling. Which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think with the prompt saying, if you give someone free housing, they're not going to want to work. I think that's true.
I think it's
Yeah, I want to make it very clear. So it's literally it's just saying if you give people free housing, they won't be motivated to change their lives. I agree with that. Like, here's my thing. I don't care if we give. I wish we could give everyone free housing, and literally no one ever had to work again. And if you want to work, you can work. If not, you don't have to. I think it's going that at some point too, because we're going to become so abundant as a society. Technology is going to get so far that in the same way that people used to starve, now we can literally farm so much food that it doesn't even matter. Like, no one starves anymore. Again, more people die from obesity. Technology is going to get to the point where some people don't even have to work. They just have a place to stay. No one will be homeless anymore. But the prompt is asking, like, if they're not going to be motivated to change their lives. If you're going to give people free housing, they're not going to want to do anything. Like, cool, I'm good. And they'll just be comfortable. Like some sort of like a domesticated animal, you know? So you see in other countries, they don't have the same type of entrepreneur drive as people in the USA do, because the people in America, there's like this drive to want to win, to achieve, to like conquer. Other countries, the consequences aren't bad. You know, I think I talk about it too, because my mom kicked me out.
completely
That's what motivated me
counterintuitive
to start my business and become great.
if it's free, you know.
Yeah. So
There
I
you
think
go.
anything that's given for free is usually taken for granted.
Right.
I think that's what it is. I know for me, like, I had a very traditional.
Besides this. Besides
You're
this,
gonna use that.
that's-
No, I had a very traditional like Asian mom, and I grew up in LA, so like I'm not like she wanted me to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer. If she just let me stay in her house, if she was like, you know what, you could just stay here and figure your life out, I probably wouldn't have become successful. But she was like, no, get the hell out. She kicked me out.
It's easy to feel very like unseen, so just having this opportunity, like I really looked forward to coming on here and being able to talk about this stuff. It is easy to just feel like you're completely just invisible. And thank y'all for sharing like your experiences. I feel like we had good discussions.
But my hands are sweaty too.
Thank you so much.
What do you guys think? Drop it in the comments. What do you guys think about that whole? It's such a like taboo thing. It's kind of crazy. I was looking at the Jubilee comments. People were wild and they're like, "Damn, Jubilee! Like, this is rage bait." They said, like, let's just get a bunch of millionaires and homeless people and tell them being broke is a choice. Like, that's a crazy concept, a crazy idea, but they did it. So what are you guys' thoughts on the Jubilee episode? Did you guys watch it, or are you just seeing it for my reaction? If anything, I'll put the link to that Jubilee episode in here. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Peace.